Before we start, it's important that you know I am grateful. I am grateful for what I've had, what I will have, and what I have had. On the 15th of May, 31st of May 2015, I stood on the start line of the world's oldest ultramarathon, an 87-kilometre race run over 12 hours between Durban and Pietermaritzburg, South Africa. The 2 months preceding this race hadn't gone to plan, hadn't done much training, and I wasn't really in the game. But I was standing on the start line and I'd give it my all. 16,000 people. The gun goes off and we run. See, this is a race that is so long that your family follow you along the route. And there's different stops where they will have feed stations, the first one being at 15 kilometres. The road was so busy, there was no chance that I was going to take on any food. The second one, 32 kilometres. First time I was to meet my family. A flat road in a little village called Hillcrest, a welcome break after the second of 5 climbs in that race. Here I am stuffing my face with Brussels sandwiches. At that point, I really did wonder whether I could complete this race. At 45 kilometres, I'd been on the road for 6 hours. There was a sweeper bus coming up behind, and the question was whether I could keep going. At 50 kilometres was the last time I was to see my family along the route. As I came into that feed station, I was faking a smile and I was skipping with joy, all a facade to mask the pain I was feeling. This is the hardest thing I'd ever done. At 70 kilometres, I started to hyperventilate. I was sucking on ice because I couldn't drink any more water, and I was wondering whether or not I could go. I thought, this is it, your race is done. I had a voice in my head, a gift from my cousin the night before, which was a statement: just take one more step. Just go one more step, go further than you've gone before. And with that in my mind, made it to 80 kilometres. 11 hours on the road. These things happen. 11 hours on the road. I had 7 more kilometres to do in 1 hour. It was possible, mathematically it was possible. 7.5 minutes per kilometre. Every step counted, every step I felt, every step was pain. But I was making the most of what I could. I managed to complete the race. 11 hours, 57 minutes, 3 minutes to spare. But there was another story happening along the same route. That of my wife. See, my wife was packed into the back of a car at one point for 4 hours with our 17-month-old child. I'm sure you can appreciate what that was like. There'd been a fire ahead and the cars couldn't move. Now her only desire was to make it to the end of that race, to see me complete my accomplishment, to see me achieve what was important for me. See, my wife had a different challenge. She was 6 weeks out from post-operative care, having had a second diagnosis of cancer. She had 2 operations 7 days apart, one to put a titanium pin into her left femur and one to decompress her spine because her vertebrae started to crumble. But she promised her daughter that she would take her to see the Gruffalo, and just 4 days later she was discharged from hospital. Here she is. Now 6 weeks on, she was in South Africa watching me undertake my challenge. Now thankfully, she made it to the end of the race. And here we are. Just 8 months later, my wife passed away on the 23rd of January 2016. I held her in my arms as she took her last breath. And at that point I knew I couldn't go beyond. For all the guidance and support and family and friends that were around me, there was no way I was going to make it beyond the next day, never mind week or month. But I knew if something was going to change, it was me. I had to drive this. I took a month out and I just started saying hello. Just started saying hello to anybody and everybody and hope that they would say hello back and that we could share stories. I would tell mine and they would listen to it and they could tell theirs and we would share something. See, my wife taught me a lesson. She teaches me a lesson every day. And that is to accept the help that's out there and to request it if you need it. See, my wife was the sort of person who would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, take all her medication so she could sleep off all the side effects, wake up at 6 simply so she could give a smile to her daughter. I mean, really, what did I have to do? I just had to put one foot in front of the other. This isn't a story about me doing an ultramarathon. This isn't a story about me being on the road for 12 hours. This isn't even a story about my wife and her endeavour to keep living fully. But this is a story about the people that reached back. See, I reached out to my community. And they reached back. This is a story about Willow's, the coffee shop, who are kind enough to now offer opportunities for me and my daughter to go on holiday with them. This is about Helm, the co-working space I use, where people care beyond the job that I do. This is about Saks, the hairdressers, who give my daughter an amazing experience every time she goes in. She feels like a princess. This is about the French Gay Cafe, where we still share stories of my wife coming having huge dinners. This is about the garage that now I'm a single parent trying to make ends meet and never go, it's going to cost you. This is about the 4 moms that invited me into their world as part of our children's drama club. So I ask you, close your eyes, think of your day, think of your month, think of your year. Did you notice someone like me? Are you me? Open your eyes, take out your phones, have a look at your contact details, your WhatsApps, whatever it is, Facebook. Now take that opportunity. Reach back to the person who's asking for something. And if it's you, reach out. Have some courage. And try to create a conversation. And if you notice something in someone else because they're not able to reach out, please reach in. See, I'm owning my story. And I'm living with it. And I'm moving forward. I am grateful for what I've had, what I will have, what I have had.